Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the FUD's Top 10 Current WWE Superstars as of March 2015. Now, who I established who was a current superstar was I went to WWE.com and clicked on their Superstars list. Now, I did disqualify a few people. I disqualified The Rock because, like hell, is he a current superstar. I disqualified The Undertaker, Jericho and Christian as well, because even though they're on the list, when was the last time they really wrestled or did anything in WWE? Also, this is a list of superstars, so I have also not counted divas or non-wrestling personalities. So let's begin. Number 10. Bad News Barrett. Now, the thing I like about Barrett is he's a fellow Brit. I like his brash attitude. It definitely makes him stand out from the rest of the WWE superstars. I also like his brawler style in the ring. He's there to fight, and I like that. Also, I don't know why, I just like his cloak. It's different. You don't see that very often. You see lots of robes, not so many cloaks. And finally, I like his catchphrase. I like how it's a catchphrase that could easily, in the wrong hand, go very, very silly. But I think, even though Barrett has fun with it, he doesn't go over the top so it's stupid. And it's a fine line, and I think he hits it quite well. Number 9. Stardust. Now, I like Stardust because of how weird he is. He's weird, but he's not stupid. His gimmick could easily be a Goldust ripoff. Of course, it started off that way, but Cody has evolved it in such a way that he's different from Goldust. And that goes from his in-ring style to the way he acts, all the way up to his attire. Which, while I'm talking about him, I will say that I think he should stick to his fast lane style of attire, because then he really is different from Goldust and he can completely stand apart and no one's going to look at him and see a Goldust ripoff. Speaking of which, number 8. Goldust. Now, when it comes down to Goldust, he is better in the ring now than he's ever been, and with a career as long as he's been, that is saying something. Well done to him. And of course, as I like the Stardust style, I like the Goldust as well. I like how he's a bit more mature now than he used to be. To show his age, it's almost like you can see the wisdom in his eyes, especially during the Stardust rivalry, because the way he kind of broke character to say, yeah, I'm your brother, I liked it. It was just the right touch. But I will say that it was difficult for me to decide which order Stardust and Goldust should be, but I think the reason why I decided Goldust was ahead of Stardust was I'm the oldest brother in my family, so I guess I just relate to Goldust more. But they really are close as hell. Number 7. Dolph Ziggler. Now, the one thing you can never say about Dolph Ziggler is he ever undersells. The man takes bumps like a madman. He kind of reminds me a bit of Shawn Michaels. I guess it could just be the super kick, but it's just the general style. I think he, out of the company, seems to be the next Shawn Michaels. But I don't think he's quite as good as Shawn. That's not an insult. Shawn Michaels is amazing. But the thought's there. But I think Dolph Ziggler's biggest problem in the WWE is Daniel Bryan. While Daniel Bryan's on the card, he is taking the spot that I think Dolph Ziggler would be perfect for. Dolph Ziggler's an underdog. He's the one that takes the punishment and gets beat up on, but still comes back again and again and again. And while Daniel Bryan's there, I don't see Dolph Ziggler getting anywhere in his career. I think maybe Intercontinental Champion is as far as he can go, unless, as we say in Sweden, Peppa Peppa Toy Tra, Daniel Bryan has a massive injury and that's the end of his career. Well, until that happens, if that happens, I hope it doesn't happen, then I don't see Dolph Ziggler's career being much more than it is. But he has the ability. He has the skill. He has the skill on the mic. He has the skill in the ring. There's not much he can't do. But Daniel Bryan is in his way. Number 6. Dean Ambrose. When it comes to Dean Ambrose, I like how his character seems to just do what he wants. If he wants to go out there and beat the crap out of someone, he'll do that. If he wants to go out there and steal an Intercontinental Championship, he'll do that. If he wants to squirt someone with mustard, he'll do that. He will do what he wants. And mainly, that's because his character seems to be pretty damn crazy, and I like it. His style, his way of being crazy is very different from everyone else's crazy, which is good. Different is good. It makes you stand out. The one thing I'm not too keen on when it comes to Dean Ambrose really is just the way he bounces off the ropes, where he kind of bounces off the top rope with his legs. It just, to me, looks a little bit clumsy, but apart from that, he's solid in the ring. That being said, if you remove that, then that's something that makes him different that's gone. So, I personally would live with it. I just don't like the way it looks, if that makes sense. I also like how, when he's talking, it does seem like most of the time he goes off script. I believe he's given points, like you must say this, you must say this, but I don't think it's scripted like word for word like it is with a few others. I believe it's like you've got to mention the pay-per-view, you've got to mention this person, you've got to mention this match. And I think it suits him. Like there was an example when he was doing Miz TV and the Miz asked him a question and he just replied, nope. And the look on the Miz's face was like, you kind of have to give me something. But no was perfect for the question. It was unexpected. I can't remember the question off the top of my head, but I just remember him saying nope. And the Miz kind of stood there for a few seconds like, now what am I supposed to do? And he continued with asking another question. And then Dean Ambrose interrupted him and continued with the question before, but he just has brilliant timing with his mic skills. Number 5. Bray Wyatt. Don't you just love that entrance theme? Bray Wyatt has one of the best entrances in the WWE today. Now, the question I have is, at Wrestlemania, there's going to be a match between Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker. How long is it going to take to start the bloody match? You're going to lose an hour in the entrances, but it's amazing. I like how creepy Bray Wyatt is, and how he's very psychological creepy. I love that he's different. Lots of people compare him to The Undertaker, but he's not The Undertaker, because the Hawaiian shirt, the hat, the rocking chair, it's very different. It's never been seen before. Yes, Bray Wyatt is the best on the mic currently, and the best thing I like about it is Bray Wyatt's promos are best when they're pre-recorded, and WWE knows this, and they do it. So they can take out any pauses, just keep it flowing perfectly. It works. I also like how he's not just creepy on the mic, he's creepy in the ring as well. Like, take Kane for example. I mean Mask Kane, forget Corporate Kane. When he does his promos and his bits, he's kind of a creepy guy. But you put him in the ring, and with the exception of the sit-up, which he ripped off of The Undertaker, which, fair enough, they're supposed to be brothers, but still, what about him is creepy? Where Bray Wyatt, the way he moves, the spider, the kiss on the head with the Sister Abigail, and so much more. He's very creepy in the ring as well. It goes with his character. It's just brilliant. Number 4. Roman Reigns. Now, whether you love Roman or you hate him, you have to admit he is going to be the future of the WWE. When you look at him, you are looking at the next face of the company. Now, the one thing a lot of Roman Reigns critics say is he's terrible on the mic. And when they go to prove this, they always point out the one promo where he was talking about the fairy tales, and I admit that was pretty bad. And I'm not saying Roman Reigns is the best on the mic, but over the past few months, he has improved significantly. He is getting comfortable in his character, and he's getting ready for WrestleMania. And the one thing I think that gives him the push to be the face of the company, and I am truly in his corner, is he is a champion. He looks like a champion, he acts like a champion. He is the one that holds the gold, in my opinion. I will add on top of this that I like Roman Reigns' look, with the long dark hair and the beard, and also that he likes using the spear. But I will admit this, I may know someone kind of personally with long dark hair, a beard, and likes to use the spear. But still, I like him. I can't quite put my finger on why, but I am in Reigns' corner. I think he should be the face of the company. Number 3. Brock Lesnar. Now, I'm going to say this at the beginning. I know this list I said did not include non-wrestling personalities, but this number 3 position is jointly shared with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, because without Paul, Brock Lesnar is next to nothing. Yes, he truly is a beast in the ring, but he's best when he just stands there with a smirk on his face, because he knows he can crush you in a few seconds. When he starts talking, that's when it goes downhill, unless he only says a few words, because then those few words are increased in intensity. But the reason why he's only number 3 and not number 1 is because he's world champion, but he barely defends the title. I personally feel that the best way they could have booked Brock Lesnar as the champion is never have him on Raw, but have him at every single pay-per-view. So when you see him, it is still a special attraction. And on top of that, you only ever see him when you pay for him. But you then have Paul Heyman on Monday Night Raw, psyching everything up. He's the one that sells the match, because Brock Lesnar himself is necessary. You have Paul Heyman hyping him up, Brock Lesnar comes to the pay-per-view, beats the crap out of whoever, and there you have your unstoppable machine, who's a special attraction, and you do not get bored with him. Number 2. Seth Rollins. Again, I feel like a parrot, but he's great in the ring, he's great on the mic. But the thing Seth Rollins has, he has the perfect position for him. He has J&J security, which increases his character. He's part of the authority, which means he's not at the top, but he has power over J&J, so it builds on his character. He's perfectly placed, and he's got money in the bank, so he's got that threat attached to him. He is in the perfect position for him. And Seth Rollins, even though he's early in his WWE career still, he is going places, and he will be world champion at some point. Even if he fails on the Money in the Bank, he will be a champion at some point. And finally, number 1. Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is the best in-ring competitor today. There is not a single person that can stand up to him. The yes chant is over as much as anything can get over. I believe the yes chant will be in the WWE a long time after Daniel Bryan retires. Yes is the new what? One of the big problems with Daniel Bryan used to be his mic skills. He is vastly improved, but I said Roman Reigns should be champion, and Daniel Bryan is my number one. What's with that? Here's the thing with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is what I like to call a chaser. He is not a world champion, he goes for the world championship. He competes in a match and then a roadblock is in his path. Then he goes for another match after he gets over that roadblock, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. Yes, eventually he has to be world champion at some point, but I don't think he's someone that you put the belt on for years. He is an underdog, and if he was a champion for too long, you're no longer an underdog, you're the champion. So I believe he should be continuously going for the belt. Although I think if he was Intercontinental Champion at Wrestlemania, that would be a start, but then he could bring back the Intercontinental Championship and use that to put him for the WWE Championship. That sort of thing. He's constantly going for the World Championship all the time, and everyone's yes, 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 yes. But you don't just give him the belt and give him a really long title reign. Yeah, when he gets the belt, you give it to him for a few months, but you don't give him a ridiculously long reign. At least that's my personal opinion. I know that's going to be very controversial, but that is how I feel about Daniel Bryan. I hope you've enjoyed this top 10 list, and if you have, please like, favorite and subscribe, and give me your top 10 list in the comments below. I am the Food. Thanks for listening.